Hello and welcome. Today's story is about fear, opportunity, and the life changing power of taking one step beyond what you've always been told. At the edge of a vast grassland stood a rocky cliff where an old lion named Caro lived alone. He was no longer the fierce hunter he had once been. Time had softened him. His powerful mane had faded, and his movements had grown slower with age. Yet throughout the valley, animals still spoke about him with caution. Among the rabbits, antelopes, and sheep, stories about Caro had been passed down for generations. Stay away from the lion, parents warned their young. Nothing good comes from getting close. Most animals obeyed without question. But among a nearby flock lived a young sheep named Elara, and unlike the others, she couldn't stop wondering if the stories were actually true. Every day, Elara noticed something unusual. While the flock grazed in the fields, she often saw different animals making their way toward Caro's cliff. A rabbit visited him nearly every morning. A tortoise spent afternoons resting nearby. Even a shy antelope occasionally climbed the rocky path to meet him. Strangely, they always returned unharmed. More than that, they seemed happier and more confident than before. Elara wanted answers. Why would these animals willingly approach someone everyone else feared? Several times she considered finding out for herself, but fear always pulled her back. The warnings of her flock echoed in her mind. So she remained where she felt safe, convincing herself that curiosity was too risky. One day, a powerful windstorm swept across the grasslands, scattering Elara's flock. When the storm passed, she found herself completely alone in unfamiliar territory. Exhausted and thirsty after hours of wandering, she discovered a small spring near the base of a cliff. As she approached, she froze. Sitting beside the water was Caro, the lion she had always feared. Yet he showed no sign of aggression. Instead, he calmly invited her to drink from the spring. Confused but desperate for water, Elara stepped forward. After drinking, she finally asked the question that had troubled her for years. "Why are you helping me?" Caro smiled and explained that many animals visited him for advice, guidance, or rest. Most never discover this place, he said, not because it's hidden, but because fear stops them from coming. As Elara listened, she realized something important. Many of her decisions had been shaped by fear and assumptions rather than understanding. For the first time, she began to question the beliefs she had always accepted as true. As the sun began to set, Elara thanked Caro and prepared to return home. Before she left, the old lion shared one final lesson. "Opportunities rarely announce themselves," he said. "Most wait quietly behind uncertainty." Those words stayed with her long after she rejoined her flock. Maybe there's something in your own life you've avoided because of fear. A conversation you've postponed, a dream you've delayed, an opportunity you've already convinced yourself won't work out. Often, the biggest obstacles aren't physical barriers, but assumptions we never challenge. The animals who benefited from Caro's wisdom weren't braver because they lacked fear. They simply chose not to let fear make their decisions for them. Remember, growth begins where comfort ends. Sometimes the answer you've been searching for is waiting on the other side of a single question. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more motivational stories. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.